Hey guys, welcome back. So today got this new Sunjack 25 watt solar panel. The intention with this is that I can bring this on the 14-day survival challenge, and then I can recharge my batteries. So I have two batteries here from the GoPro. One's at 16%, one's at 45%. Did a fair amount of recording yesterday. And the idea is, can I charge those up in not even half a day of sunlight now, because it's already past noon. But here it is. I haven't opened it up yet, so I don't know what to expect here. We have instructions. Okay, so there's the charging ports inside this little zipper pouch. We have two little D-rings. And then overall, it's not that heavy. It's a little bit heavier than my tablet maybe, but not terribly. I think it's like 1.67 pounds, something like that. And then, all right, so they're slightly magnetized to try to help it keep closed, and it's a 3-panel. I thought about doing a smaller one, but it seemed like the smaller one's kind of stunk, so I'm gonna try this one. And let me get this thing plugged in the sunshine, and okay, so yeah, I'm not used to it yet, so forgive me if I look like anyway, with a football. All right, so that's the USB side. I could have done the USB-C to USB-C, but that ought to work right there. Well, we'll see what we get off of it. I'm going to try just flat charging it as opposed to right there. And see, I like charging. Got orange whites, that's good. I'm going to try to just keep that out of the sun, because the batteries don't do that great when they get real hot. That'll work for now. I'll come back out in a little bit and kind of change them around. But all right, so I moved it over here just because it was starting to get some partial shading on top of that log. And yeah, still going. So I moved it down here because it was starting to get some partial shading up there. And I'll be down here working, so I can kind of keep an eye on it, make sure it's in full sun the whole time. Even stuff like this, like try to get any little shadow off of it, because that can mess with its efficiency. Up, one more little shadow there. There we go. All right, just came over and checked again. They have been on, these batteries have been on for 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'm sorry, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Look at this. The 45% one's already charged. These are pretty good sized batteries. The 16% is still charging, which that's to be expected. So I'm gonna pull that battery and put the one that's in the camera on there, because that one's at 58%. So if I could charge 3 batteries in a day, this thing's golden. That's exactly what I needed to do. And I'm pretty sure I could do even more, because if it's 1 hour and 40 minutes to charge one from half, well, you do the math. All right, pretty cool. So far it's working. All right, it's had 3.5 hours, give or take. And we should be, no, it's still not full. The 16 was this one, the 16%, and this one is the 60-something% that I put in off the camera. I'm honestly surprised for as fast as the first one went, but hey, keep at it. See how long it takes. And one thing I did notice is that the batteries are pretty hot, just because they're touching the back of the panel. So if I can space the panel up a little bit, I don't have my tripod along, so bear with me. Just create a little air gap there so that it's not actually touching. All right, they should be done any moment now. Kind of wonder what they are. Almost want to pull one off and put it on the camera and see what the percentage is. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so the answer is they're overheated, and they won't even fire up the camera right now. So I think I'm going to reposition this back a little further, and get that way I can get the batteries in the shade and the solar panels in the sun. All right, so to finish up the day, it topped all the batteries off. The last one, the one that was at 16%, took all day. And the reason was about midday it got too hot. The battery itself got too hot and wouldn't take a charge. It tried it in the camera and it wouldn't even turn on. So I think the way to do this is to put this onto a battery bank, and then at night charge your devices off of the battery bank instead of charging off of this. I mean, you could charge right off of this, but this way you don't have the fear of getting the small chargers wet or your devices wet. You know, if you had a sudden rainstorm and this was unattended, as well as overheated. So you really have to work to keep the batteries cool. Whereas if you just had one big battery pack, you could potentially maybe even scoop a little hole, put that in it so that it stays cool, stays shaded, and charge right off of this. So that's my next mission. Try that out, see how that does.